this time, we'd like to call the Anderson County proclamation and awards ceremony to order. And at this time, I would like to recognize Miss Cindy Wilson and Mr. Mitchell Cole for the first resolution proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is over a pretty serious matter that strikes a lot of folks. This is Women's Lung Health Week, May 10th through 16th, and this is a proclamation. Whereas every 5 minutes a woman in the United States is told she has lung cancer, and whereas lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women in the United States, and whereas the lung cancer death rate in women has almost doubled over the past 37 years, and whereas advocacy and increased awareness will result in more and better treatment for women with lung cancer and other lung diseases and will ultimately save lives, and whereas Lung Force is the national movement led by the American Lung Association with the mission of making lung cancer history. Our determination to unite women, to stand together with a collective strength and purpose, to lead the fight against lung cancer and for lung health is only surpassed by our educational goals to the public as a whole. Be it declared that Anderson County Council hereby designates the second full week in May as Women's Lung Health Week throughout the county and encourages all residents of Anderson County to learn more about the detection and treatment of lung cancer. And Mr. Chairman, may we have Mrs. Elizabeth Kelly Pope to come forward. Is she here?
We need a motion. A second.
May we have may I put this in the form of a motion?
Second.
All right, have a brought forward in the form of a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All right, make that that passed unanimously. All right, and she's not here, so we'll move on to the second one, and that would be Mr. Cole. I believe that proclamation is yours for.
This is a proclamation declaring the month of May as Mental Health Month.
Okay, all right.
All right. Step down and.
All right, come forward. Would you like all of us to meet?
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. All right, and we'll continue, Mr. Cole.
Okay, this is a proclamation making May Mental Health Month, whereas the mental health of our citizens is essential to the continual well-being and vitality of our families, businesses, communities, and whereas mental health issues affect parents, sisters, brothers, co-workers, all the people in our lives, and whereas people with mental illness recover if given the necessary services and support of their communities, and whereas only 1 out of 2 people with a serious form of mental illness seeks treatment, and whereas stigma and fear of discrimination keep many who would benefit from mental health services from seeking help, and whereas greater public awareness about mental illness can change negative attitudes and behaviors toward people with mental illnesses, and whereas the 2015 observance of Mental Health Month will help raise awareness of the importance of mental health and the stigma people with mental illness face, while delivering the message that with proper treatment, recovery is possible. Now, therefore, we members of the Anderson County Council, on behalf of Anderson County, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2015 as Mental Health Month. As council members, we also call upon all Anderson County citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental illness, reducing stigma and discrimination, and promoting appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental illness. I present this in form of a motion.
Second. All right, we have a motion and we have a second. And all in favor of those, notify by raising your right hand. All right, and let that be known that it passed unanimously. All right, do we have anyone we need to present that to? Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Right ahead, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate what you do. Thank you, sir. Right there.
All right, we have one more proclamation in that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a proclamation designating May 15 as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week of May 10 through 16 as Police Week, and to reverently honor law enforcement officers who have become disabled or who have fallen in the line of duty. And I would like to read a list of those that we honor specifically tonight, as well as those that we honor in the proclamation. 1920, Arthur Hughes, Honeypath, PD. 1924, William Gibson, Anderson City, PD. 1926, James R. Wilson, Anderson County Sheriff's Officer. 1928, Luther A. Martin, Anderson County Sheriff's Office. 1947, Willis Ed Sanders Sr., Anderson City, PD. 1956, William L. Acker, Anderson City, PD. 1957, James Tillotson, Anderson County Sheriff's Office. 1965, Levis T. Sexton, Anderson County Sheriff's Office. 1967, Earl Dean Compton, Iva, PD. 1969, A.C. Campbell, South Carolina Wildlife Department. 1972, Barry Creamer, Anderson County Sheriff's Office. 1973, Edgar Cooley, Honeypath, PD. 1975, Charles G. Shepard, Anderson City, PD. 1992, Chris Taylor, Anderson County Sheriff's Office. 1994, Randall Hester, South Carolina Highway Patrol. 2005, James Alex Burdett, Anderson County Sheriff's Office. Whereas from the beginning of our great nation, law enforcement officers have played an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms which are guaranteed by the Constitution and in protecting the lives and property of our citizens. And whereas by a joint resolution approved October 1, 1962, the U.S. Congress requested the President to designate May 15 of each year as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week during which such May 15 occurs as Police Week. Whereas it is important that residents acknowledge the men and women who do difficult, dangerous, and often thankless work, recognizing the problems, duties, and responsibilities of law enforcement officers, as well as the necessity of cooperating with them in order to maintain law and order. And whereas it is fitting and proper that we express our gratitude for the dedicated service and courageous deeds of law enforcement officers and for the contributions they make daily toward the security and well-being of all people. And now, therefore, the Anderson County Council designates May 15, 2015 as Peace Officers Memorial Day and hereby directs all flags and county buildings be flown at half-staff in memory of those peace officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. Further, Council designates May 10 through May 16, 2015 as Police Week in recognition of the service given by the men and women presently serving throughout Anderson County who night and day protect us through enforcement of our laws. County Council invites local jurisdictions, patriotic, civic, educational organizations, and all residents to observe Peace Officers Memorial Day and Police Week with appropriate activities and ceremonies that commemorate law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered service to our community, and in so doing have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. As we remember and mourn the fallen, let us also remember how they lived. With unflinching commitment, they defended our schools and businesses. They guarded our prisons, patrolled our borders, and kept us safe on the road as we went about our daily lives. To their families, we owe an unpayable debt, and to the men and women who carry their mission forward, we owe our unyielding support. Just as police officers never let down their guard, we must never let down our gratitude. Extending our heartfelt thanks not only in times of tragedy, but for every tragedy averted, every accident avoided, because an officer took a drunk driver off the streets. Every child was made safer because a criminal was brought to justice. Every life saved because officers raced to the scene. This resolution shall take effect and be enforced immediately upon enactment, resolved in meeting duly assembled this 5th day of May, 2015. And may I put that in the form of a motion, please?
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. All right. Let the record show that that was unanimous. We have
I may have my fellow council members come down and all of our law enforcement people, if you will come forward, I'd like to make this presentation.
Let's give them a hand while they're coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys, what you do. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you do, yes, sir. Appreciate what you guys do. Man, I've seen you somewhere before. Appreciate what you do, yes, sir.
I
Appreciate
will,
what you do.
well, what I said, what I was going to tell you was, is several of the chiefs have texted me. Obviously, in our business, we have things going on, so, Camp, Taylor, and all those, obviously, our FOP finalized. I also like to invite everyone to the council meeting. It's Wednesday the 13th, 6 o'clock. Where is our annual ceremony that we have honoring our fallen. That will be over starting this week.
All right. All right. Chief? There you go. Yes, sir. Yeah, got one more there. All right. Appreciate what you guys do. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right?
You all right?
All right, ma'am. Take care. Appreciate it.
Sir.
All right, at this time, that concludes the presentation at this time, and so we'll adjourn until the regular council meeting at 6:30.